This is a heads up, this is not a review. I wanted to talk about Furiosa because for most people who are going to see this movie, they may have a certain expectation based on Mad Max Fury Road. I just want to clarify something. I need to help you understand this movie. So if I was to give this out of 5, but first of all, because I don't really want reviews, if I was to give this out of 5, I would give this movie a 4.7 out of 5. It's perfect in one way, but in another way, it would be a 3.7 out of 5. Let me explain. First, I'll start with the 3.7 out of 5. The 3.7 out of 5 is because if you went into this expecting Mad Max Fury Road, then there are some moments that may be disappointing because it focuses a lot on the story. It focuses a lot on explaining some of the madness that come with Furiosa and Chris Hemsworth's character and all these other characters, because there's an element of family, there's a story basically. Characters have proper arcs, like it feels like a proper story. You have a character coming from somewhere different and ending up somewhere totally different. Unlike Fury Road, they decided to open up the world. And in fact, if I was to give this the name, I would give this Furiosa in the Mad Max universe or in the Mad Max world, because it feels like they're in that world. It doesn't really feel like a Mad Max story or a Mad Max saga. It feels like a Mad Max universe, whereby now the world of Fury Road were open. Now, for those people who went in expecting Fury Road, you probably give it a 3.7 out of 5. The first hour is, we follow a smaller Furiosa, we follow a kid Furiosa, which again comes as a surprise because in the trailers you see a lot of the adult Furiosa, and you don't think that, you probably think that you're going to see that throughout the film. There's a good chunk whereby you spend time with the very younger Furiosa, and then you have now the Furiosa that you saw on the trailer, maybe in the better part of the second movie. So you have this movie that feels like it's starting you somewhere, trying to give you context on where this particular character came from, and then you have this other movie that now shows you something close to what Mad Max Fury Road gave you. So with that, if you're going in with that mentality of Fury Road, then 3.7. If now you are like saying that, yes, I enjoyed Mad Max Fury Road, but it did not have enough story. We didn't really go into the characters. We didn't get to understand them. We didn't get to grow with them throughout the film. Then you'll probably end up loving Furiosa, because Furiosa now focuses, as I said, it really goes into the genesis of some of the madness that came with these people. It goes into trying to give you an idea of what this character was seeking at the, for Fury Road, there was something that Furiosa was seeking. So it gives you a good idea of what she was seeking, which we see a good chunk of in this particular film. You get a chunk of who she was during that particular period. So you see a bit of what she was and what she was looking for in Fury Road. Then you actually grow with her. But then now the Fury Road aspects are still there, and they amp it. They add more into that. They don't give you exactly what you saw in Fury Road, but they improve on it. They have much more interesting action set pieces in this movie than than Fury Road. Now, Fury Road was mayhem. It was complete chaos. This one is chaos, but you can see them actually reinvent the chaos. They look at chaos from new, different technologies. I would like to put it that way. They give us a different flavor of what we had. It's the same thing. It's the same madness. It's the same chaos, but there's a touch of, I don't want to call it technology. I would call it innovative. There are different ways of doing what we saw in Fury Road. The texture is the same, but generally there are things that they do that have that energy of the first movie, but then they added small elements that made it different. So generally, the action is absolutely exciting like the first movie. The tension and the anxiety I got from watching some of the scenes in this movie remind me of Fury Road. If you remember Mad Max, how he was communicating with his facial expression, or those moments where you could actually just read their facial expressions and see how they were feeling. You get a lot of that in this with Furiosa's character. There's a lot of, I don't want to call it silence. There are a lot of There are a lot of scenes that are sold with expressions, especially with the eyes, of course. It's Anya Taylor. Of course, with the eyes, she has like super interesting eyes. So you get a lot of that. Now, some things, as I said, it's not a review. Something that might put you off with this, if you remember Fury Road, it had some scenes that were clearly shot on set. You know, the sense of realism in that movie was hyper. You couldn't even understand how they were able to do some of those stunts. Now with this, you have the stunts, but there are moments that you actually see the blue screen or the green screen. There are moments that you feel the composition. Yeah, you feel that, yeah, that background might be fake. I don't know if it's how they shot it or it's just visual effects, because there are some clear moments of visual effects. There are some clear moment of, you know, green screen. There are clear moments of, this was composed later. This particular environment doesn't look real. But generally, the cinematography, the coloring is also very, very interesting. It's saturated, but not under. They oversaturated some scenes. Chris Hemsworth's performance is awesome, and you'll probably love the soundtrack with the action, especially for the second hour of the film. I think that's where now I would urge you to go watch the Mad Max saga. The Mad Max saga-ness of the movie actually happens in the later half of the second and third act. Yes, you have your quiet moments, but there's enough madness in the second act to remind you of Fury Road. So basically that's it. As I said, it's not a review. It's just a heads up before you go into this. If you're going to see this, yeah, it's Mad Max with a story, but the Mad Max that you're looking for might happen slightly later into the film. But then you'll have pockets of story moments that try to put you in the mind of these particular characters. So basically, you've been warned. So if you go to this, you know what to expect. So basically, that's it. Remember to always watch what you enjoy and enjoy what you watch. Thanks for watching this. I'll probably, after maybe a few other days, I'll go rewatch it and see maybe if there was something. Oh, and if you have to go see this, go see it on IMAX. Yeah, it's fantastic. It looks, oh my goodness, it looks fantastic on the big screens. The composition, it had, if you remember Mad Max, the first Mad Max movie, it had at a certain feel, it has a certain quality about it that makes it feel cinematic. So yeah, go to an IMAX movie just for the picture, because these are the kinds of movies that are made for. You know, this reminds me of Dune. That just picture epicness is there. Anyway, I'll probably rewatch it 2 or 3 times. Then I'll give a proper review, because I would, unlike the first movie or like most of the movies that I do, I would want to do a much deeper review of the movie, because there's just so much to unpack from this story, because it reminds me of Mad Max, but then it goes so much into Furiosa, and there are some elements that are introduced that connect with Fury Road so well. In fact, you could take this and watch it before you watch Mad Max. Actually, it would make more sense to watch them that way. If the time comes, you can't watch Mad Max before Furiosa. If you watch Furiosa plus this, it makes a lot of sense, because of some things that are within this particular film that connect directly to Fury Road. So basically that's it. You've been warned. As I was saying, I'll probably take time to do a proper review, and not a proper review, connect it to the first Fury Road, and maybe make out the character of Furiosa, how she evolves throughout the 2 films. Because if you were to follow now from Furiosa to Mad Fury Road, just following Furiosa, oh my, it makes for a very, very interesting story. It makes for, yeah, so basically that's it. I promise you that I'll do an in-depth take on Furiosa's journey from Furiosa, when she was a child, to the Furiosa we see at the end of Fury Road. So basically that's it. Remember to always watch what you enjoy and enjoy what you watch. I shall see you on the next one. For my people who are here, for the people who've subscribed to my channel, thanks for being here. I love you guys. You guys are awesome. Thanks for the 2 random guys who usually like my video. But anyway, that's it. See you on the next one.